Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making stuffed eggplant. So let's get started. You will need about 5 eggplants, small to medium sized, washed and dried. Now cut the tops off the eggplant of each one. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell for notification. Now with the peeler, peel a bit of the skin off the eggplant. Just go around the eggplant, leaving a little bit of the skin on. It looks like this. Repeat the process till it's all done. Cut each eggplant in half in lengthwise. If you find that the eggplant is a little bit too large, you can cut a little bit extra off the tops and make them a little bit smaller. Now get a baking tray and place each of the eggplants on the tray side by side. Sprinkle salt on top of each eggplant, making sure you cover each of the tops of the eggplant well with the salt. This is going to help bring out the bitterness of the eggplant, and we're going to let them soak in the salt for about 20 minutes before washing it off. When you see it sweat on top, that means that the salt has done its job and the bitterness has come out of the eggplant. Wash and dry the eggplants properly and pat them dry with some paper towel, and then get a baking tray and line it with parchment paper and place the eggplants back on top of the parchment paper next to each other. Now drizzle olive oil on top of the eggplant, making sure you cover each of the eggplant with the olive oil. This is going to help it cook in the oven and give it a nice golden color. Bake at 170 degrees in the oven for around 20 minutes. This is how they should look like once they're out of the oven. While they're still hot, scoop the flesh of the eggplant out of them and place them in a dish. I used a small ice cream scoop to get all the flesh out. You can use a spoon as well. Make sure you're scooping all the flesh out while the eggplant is still hot. It'll make it easier for you to scoop out the flesh. Don't forget to like and share today's recipe. Now once you've taken all the flesh out, get a baking dish and place the eggplants side by side in the baking dish while they're still warm. Making sure that they're next to each other straight, because we are going to fill these lovely eggplants again. Now for the meat filling, I already started making this to make this a little bit quicker. You'll need 1/4 kilo of minced meat. I'm using lamb, 1 large onion chopped finely, about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and about half a teaspoon of unsalted butter. So cook the onion first and and when it's transparent, add the meat and brown it. Then add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pimento, half a teaspoon of 7 spices, and a quarter of a teaspoon of chili powder. Mix it all in together and keep stirring it for a little while till all the spices have infused in the meat. After a few more minutes, add about a quarter of a cup of toasted pine nuts into the meat mixture and give it a stir. This is a very versatile filling which can be used for any kind of stuffing, capsicum, any vegetable that you like to stuff. Now add a tablespoon of fresh chopped mint into the filling and give it a stir. After a couple of minutes, turn off the heat and set it aside. Mash the flesh of the eggplant in the plate because we're going to actually add the flesh back into the eggplants. Place a teaspoon of the flesh back into the eggplant, in each eggplant, making sure you spread them evenly into the eggplant. Now with the filling, add a tablespoon of the filling on top of the eggplant, making sure you press a little bit on top of each one to firmly secure it in the eggplant. So about a tablespoon of each of the filling in the eggplant. This is an absolutely delicious and hearty meal to make for dinner, even for a dinner party, served with some rice on the side. You'll need 1 can of chopped tomatoes, that's 400 grams, 1 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, half a teaspoon of salt or a teaspoon, and we'll need some pimento, some 7 spices and some chili powder. About half a teaspoon of each, and give it a mix. Just whisk it up properly until everything's mixed together. Now gently pour the sauce all over the eggplant, all on top and around the eggplant to cover it completely. Sprinkle the top with some mozzarella cheese. This will add some flavour to it as well. Bake in the oven at 200 degrees for around 20 minutes. This dish is fit for a king. Absolutely delicious. The smell in the kitchen is absolutely beautiful. Now sprinkle the top with some fresh basil and dinner is ready. Let it sit for around 5 minutes before you cut it. That way the eggplant will come out easily. Absolutely divine. Serve this dish with some rice and the whole family will love it. Thank you for watching today's recipe. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in my next video, sweeties. Bye.